Guys, Marika here with another Copic coloring and card tutorial. Today I'm coloring Kayla. She's a polka dot pal from Little Miss Muffet Stamps. They come without noses and mouths. So I thought I'd show you how I kind of count when I start doing my faces. So I start with the eyes, and as you do have the pupils of the eyes, that is my first line. My second line is just right between the eyes and the chin, and that is where I will put the mouth. And you will also see that the tip of the nose will be at the same height at the bottom of your ears, so you can also put a line there. And then right in between the nose and the chin, or just a little bit higher, that is where you put your mouth. And that is how you kind of figure out where things are. Today, I wanted to make this character into a person of African descent. So first of all, I did have a reference image so I could find like a nose and a mouth that would fit. And then I just did the sketch the way I just told you. To finish it off, I'm going in with a little Copic fine liner marker. This is the 0.1 size. A little thing, you will see that my lines actually move a little bit when I start coloring. This is because I didn't let the ink dry. You have to let the ink dry, and I didn't, because these are Copic friendly, so they will work perfectly with Copics. So if you ever wanted to add details like this little face onto any characters, you can use one of those pens. They are really good. And when I finished all of the lining, I just go through with my little pen eraser there and erase all of the lines, the lead lines. Copic will trap the lines inside, so if you want to remove your pencil lines, you have to do that before you start coloring. And now to the coloring itself. I kind of played around to find the color scheme that I'm using today. I'm using the Sandy Elnock hexagonal chart, which if you're a Copic colorist and you don't have the hexagonal chart, I think it's $5. That is not that much money. It's an awesome chart to use. It's the only chart I'm using when I pick colors. It has helped me so much in creating new color combinations, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So, and when we're talking about Sandy, the reason for this little girl becoming of African descent is all because of Sandy. A while ago, I don't know how long ago, but quite a while ago, she started something which she calls #TheHumanRainbow, and it's an incentive for creators and card makers to start creating for the whole world. I know that I have this very light skin color that is my go-to color, which is actually my own color. That is basically probably why I use it that much. But I don't do other colors that much. And I think it is important to share with everyone and make room for everyone in the craft industry. And this is one of the reasons why I really like these polka dot pal faces, polka dot characters, because you can color them however you want to, as they don't have the definition in the face. They don't have the nose, the mouth, or the outlines of the eyes. You can make them into any ethnicity as you want to. So today I decided African descent. I know that she's much lighter than I thought I would do. I added much less of the darker colors and much more of the mid colors, but I kind of like how she turned out anyway. So as always, the color combinations will be listed in the description down below, but also on my blog. And in the description down below, you will have the direct link to the post about this card. You will have all of the supplies used and other this and that. There are a whole bunch of things in the description. But the colors I chose today, as I used a bit of a kind of a redder-ish skin tone, I chose to go with my ever so faithful E44s to color her hair in, because I thought that would make a very dark brown and a bit grayish brown, neutral brown, and I really like it. I like how it turned out. For the other colors, as I played around with the rainbow yesterday, and that was for the Simon's Stamp card kit for June 2016, and I really like the card kit, and I wanted to play with it with my card today also. If you didn't see my video yesterday, I will have a little card here where you can find my video from yesterday. There I also show all of the supplies that came in the kit, if you are interested in that. But the color scheme is kind of based to match the papers. It isn't directly picked from the papers, but it's made to match. So I wanted them to be bright and strong, and that is also one of the reasons I chose to go with the skin color, because personally I think that darker skin colors goes better with bright colors. I love bright colors. I love coloring with bright colors. I love wearing bright colors, but I've seen so many beautiful clothes that would overpower me because of my skin color, but they don't overpower so many other people, and they are usually of other skin colors. So yeah, you kind of get it, don't you? After I've colored her all up and did all of the fussiness on those little puffs, I'm cutting her out with my AK Success cutter bees. That's the word. And yeah, as I said so many times before, I love my fussy cutting. It's therapy. I could do it all day. And I'm actually doing a lot more for this card, but then you don't have to see it all. So I cut some of those out. So for the card, I'm going to use that rainbow paper you see there on the side, and to that I wanted to have some black and white accents. So I'm using all of these leaves, which is from the stamp set that came in the kit, which is called Look for the Miracles. And I really like these kind of branches with leaves, and I thought they would work perfect. Black on black paper with white embossing powder. So I'm stamping them all out in Versamark ink. First I went through the whole paper with my powder tool so that I don't get the powder to stick on other places. Then I just throw a whole bunch of that white embossing powder on, and kind of hit carefully on the back side of the card so that the powder just stick on the branches and not on the rest. And then I heated with my heat tool. Much easier if you let your heat tool warm up for about 30 seconds before you go on, then it will melt like butter, and I love how it looks when embossing powder melts. Then I'm going over with a dry paper towel to remove the powder, and then I'm going in with my scissors. So I'm cutting all of these out by hand because I like it, and because I thought I haven't had this idea that this would work out, and it actually did work out, so I actually kept it in the video. I also had the idea that if this doesn't work out, I had a go-to plan, and then you wouldn't even have seen these leaves. But after cutting them out, I'm deciding to cut pick out my fiskars and cut out some papers. I did my back layer, which is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and then I did my card base, which is cutting a card base in half. I also cut out this little die, the dream die, that came with the kit. And this was kind of the reasons why I first wanted to use the kit for this card, because she's lying on a pillow, so she's kind of dreaming. Then I kind of choose what side I wanted from the paper. I cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4, so that it would fit perfectly on my little mat. And when it comes to putting things on a mat, my recommendation is go slow. Try to get as much on every side, and try not to pinch it down too much so that your tape runner doesn't stick. Then I'm playing around with these little leaves and how I want them to sit on the card. And I ended up not using all of the little leaves that I cut out. I just picked 3 of them to give them a little bit grouping, and so you still can see a lot of that beautiful rainbow pattern paper. For the little sentiment die, I'm using some quickie glue, which comes in a little pen. That actually came with last month's Simon's stamp card kit, and that was quite nice. It didn't stick down as easily, so you have to push it down, but I did really like it afterwards, because then it's just sat there. To put down all of my little leaves, I'm using some of the Tombow Mono Multi glue on the back side of all of those little leaves. And when I had glued them down, I'm adding my acrylic blocks on the over them, so they can push them down, so they can dry flat. Then I added some foam tape to little Kayla and positioned her on top of the leaves, so they kind of stick out just behind her. And then I score my half of my letter size at 4 1/4 to make a standard A2 card base, and then I just put tape on the back side and add that to the base card base. So that was the card for today. I hope you liked it. If you do, please thumbs it up. It means a lot to me. If you have any questions, just comment down below. If you want to see more like this, just hit that subscribe button. And here are 2 more videos with stamps from Little Miss Muffet Stamps. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!